Let's do it.
All right, here we go. Montolio has a workshop, has a lodestone golem.
And one the die
Cyrus
roll.
has a bunch of mana, but just a lone ponder to find business with.
Yeah, the library on the draw will also be a cantrip to look for gas, so a clear
Fair.
keep for both players.
All right, here's turn one lodestone golem. Doesn't slow down the ruby or the lotus.
Yeah, I was just about to say that you exchanged the ability to apply pressure for the ability to lock down artifact jewelry. So
Another land. Yeah, this looks like library draw card, play the ruby and the lotus. Reevaluate next turn. Yeah, Gitaxian probe. I guess you probably fire that off with the ruby.
Yeah, probe is good because then you know whether you have to play around Revoker. Wow, he doesn't.
Well, it was going to cost him a mana.
Right. Okay, sure.
Yeah, he's just second main phasing it.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense because if he sees a Revoker in Montolio's hand, then he doesn't want to drop his Lotus and have it get locked down. And now that he didn't see a Sphere, I could see a world where he doesn't want to play it out. He likes to play it out, sure. So he can get punished by his Revoker.
But he doesn't want to see Sphere or Thorn off the top, and there's more of those.
Yep, there are one more. So
speaking of, well, there's two more if you count the Trinisphere.
Good point. So 4 versus 6 makes good sense. Yeah, this is pretty interesting.
Sphere's still a great draw. I mean, yeah, Cyrus got his Lotus into play, but he needs to ponder for action. Tolarian Academy's got to do a lot of work here.
So we need to do some math here. Yeah, if he copies a lodestone with Metamorph, then he has lethal next turn.
Indeed.
But what if he copies the Sphere? Will he have lethal then? I don't think he will.
I don't think so. I think you copy lodestone. Sure, the artifacts are free, but not free. But I totally.
If you had lethal anyway, I could see copying the Sphere as a superior play. But I mean, this also puts.
Gotta be good, Cyrus. Yeah, it's turn 2, and it's probably too late. There's the Force of Will. Way too late. I don't see him getting out of this.
No.
I mean, he basically has to find a Hercules, but it costs 5.
Yeah, I don't think the way he's finding that is paying 4 mana for a ponder.
You can pay 2 mana for a top and blind seed into it.
Top plus activation is a lot cheaper.
I guess that's the play.
Yeah.
Tolarian Academy plus Black Lotus will let him blind flip the top. Maybe he can even activate the top. You're right though. If he succeeds, he comes up with a Hercules Recall that he has to cast now.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So he's got to leave like leftover blue mana floating for the ponder. Yeah, I don't think it works.
No.
Yeah, Cyrus cannot stitch together anything. And
Wow.
turn
So
2 concession, turn 1 lodestone golem into turn 2 sphere plus additional lodestone golem. Yeah, that'll get the job done. That's a tough
yeah,
one.
I mean, a turn 3 kill with 3 sphere effects on the battlefield, that's just filthy.
Filthy is, yeah, accurate.
So I wonder what Cyrus would have done if he would have been on to play that game.
I mean, it all depends what happens with the ponder in the top. Like he ponders
Yeah.
into a divining top, and
Did he have the Lotus in his opener? Yeah, he did,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So he actually had the ability to ponder into something nasty like a time twister or whatever. So
potentially.
yeah,
But
play draw very very huge in that game. Even find a Force of Will would have been great.
yeah, although really it was the difference between scooping on turn 2 and maybe having the opportunity to draw
Yeah,
into something.
but in Vintage that's a big difference.
Sure. All right,
So
we'll get you
we'll
guys.
see Montolio adding the Nullrod plus Leyline package. And
Indeed.
Cyrus will add the couple basic lands and the Hurgle's Recall all the way up to 4.
He also brought his Karns in, I saw,
Okay.
as he was fiddling around. He's got 2 copies of Karn, Sign of Urza in his sideboard. And that gives him a way to win, without going through his whole combo. I think I like that. I think Leyline of Sanctity hits the board. He doesn't really want to be down to just a single copy of Monastery Mentor as his win condition.
No, I mean I understand that in theory. I just don't think that a Karn can go toe to toe with the creatures that Montolio is spitting out on an average game. But I could see it being a great like turn 1 play when you're on the plane. You get to unload all your fast mana, and you have something where you're not committing a whole lot of resources, and will just be very good early.
Yeah, I think it has to be early to be good. All right, here we go. Game 2. Looks like Montolio kept Ancient Tomb Nullrod, and Cyrus kept a Brainstorm, which we didn't get to watch, but that's all right. Turn 2 PO is potentially online. Yeah, Force of Will the Nullrod.
So this is pretty interesting. We saw, I guess we didn't see it, but we can see that Cyrus, he went for a turn 1 Brainstorm to try and find something broken, but he neglected to play out his artifacts because he had the Force of Will. So he knew that he could counter a potential sphere, so he could slow roll them that way.
Draw 2, and they are a 3rd copy of Paradoxical Outcome plus a Tendrils. That is not the most exciting.
Yeah, Tendrils for
6. Yeah, right? It's not quite.
Yeah,
I mean,
the ancient
Tomb
makes it an interesting play.
Sort of almost close. Like if he knew he could PO into blue mana here, he could pick up the Mana Crypt and into black mana. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not quite. Like he could generate a couple more storm here if he hit perfect.
If he could have done 14 there, I think it would have been a great play, because that's not a lot of activations left from the Ancient Tomb.
Oof. And now Revoker is going to turn off probably the Crypt. Yeah.
How do you feel about strip mining here?
Snap it off. I strip mine in a heartbeat if I'm Andy.
He has another Revoker, so that means that if he gets rid of the island now, I think you should get rid of the island because you have 4 wastelands to draw into, and you still have a 2 mana play for next turn in the Revoker.
Yeah, you see Andy consulting the deck list there. Deck lists are public. Does elect to go for the island. Tundra has only a little bit more utility. There's not much that's white in Cyrus's deck.
Yeah, and with the Black Lotus already in play, you're not even cutting him out of a color, so.
Library. Yeah, not much. Oh, there's the Wasteland.
Yeah,
left
this
the
is
more vulnerable Tundra in play, and drew exactly what he lined up. Man, gets to Revoker Black Lotus and waste Tundra.
Yeah, this is.
You told me this matchup favored Paradoxical Outcome.
Oh yeah. But anything can happen. As I tweeted to Cyrus before the tournament, I don't feel like there's any matchups that are outside of 60-40 percentages. So this is maybe like 55-45, so it's nothing major.
Yeah, I think with Andy having as much sideboard for the matchup as he does, it might be. I think it's pretty close to 50-50.
Yeah, I think the lane lanes.
Like the stock decks are PO with the advantage, but
yeah. So now you need to do an embarrassing 4-mana cantrip. But I guess you get to return the mana crypt so it doesn't deal you any damage.
And look how much closer he is to Library of Alexandria now.
I wonder what the name is here. Sensei's Divining Top. An artifact that he actually has more than one copy of, so... Slowly but surely, clocking away at Cyrus's life total.
Yeah, Chief of the Foundry is a potential... doubles the clock if he gets there.
If he draws a mana source, it's lethal, right?
Yeah, next turn. Alright, the Jet. That is a mana source.
Yeah, but it's he can't activate it.
Phyrexian Revoker. Hilarious. So Cyrus gets a turn. It's a turn where he gets to draw a library card too.
Yeah, he needs some good stuff. And the Lotus is gone, so he can't just explode out of nothing.
Nope. Force of Will. Draw your library card. Draw your library card. I guess there's nothing it can be. Wow, what a beating. Andy Markiton gets the job done. Trusty Shop's deck in his hands. I think that deck loved him as much that round as he loves it. That was...
Yeah, that was just brutal, but you know, that can just happen in any... If we're not playing best of 9 or best of 11 or whatever, so you can have quick matches like that in Vintage. It's just part of the charm.
Indeed. I don't know how charmed Cyrus feels, but good news. It is double elimination. So Cyrus is still very much alive. We can show you guys the bracket if we get a chance. You could also just exclamation point bracket in the chat if you're watching us live on Twitch to take a look at the bracket. Montolio moves into the winner's bracket where he will be taking the winner of Andreas versus Brassman coming up as our next match. And Cyrus is still live. He drops down to the bottom there. He'll take on the loser of the match coming up next between Brassman and Andreas. And yeah, things will play out from there. At the end of the night, we will have our final semifinalist. And we got a lot of Magic to play before we get there, though. And you're up next, sir. You sound like you do not want to face this matchup.
No, and the problem is with the way this system is working that I need to beat him at some point, because if I lose now, then I'll have to win the next, and then he will be waiting for me later in the tournament. And if I... So I mean, I might as well beat him now because I'm going to have to beat him sooner or later. And I could potentially play him in the finals, and then I would have to beat him twice if I lose now. So yeah, I think this is my time to shine. this next match.
Good luck to you. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with the second match of the night right after this.
CoolStuffInc.com is your home for everything Magic the Gathering. Need singles for constructed or kitchen table play? Looking to pick up some sealed product or the latest in Magic accessories? We've got you covered with our extensive live inventory. With free shipping on orders of $100 or more, a 25% buy list bonus, and our ever-popular customer rewards program, CoolStuffInc.com is the place for all your Magic the Gathering needs.